Hey, it's me, ABSD. Welcome to the Inner Dialogue podcast. We are here striving for growth, not perfection. And what a beautiful journey that is. Y'all, this is episode 30 of the Inner Dialogue podcast. 30 episodes. I am so immensely proud of myself for continuing to show up in this space, be authentic, shine with love, and just to show up as me and to allow myself to figure out all the nooks and crannies along the way. Today is November 27th, 2023. It's 7:25 p.m. and today's a Monday, and I had an awesome Monday. I had a truly awesome Monday. I have been working on building new habits into my life. I read the book Atomic Habits by James Redfield, and there are a lot of really awesome nuggets and tools in that book that I am starting to integrate into my life. And as I'm doing that, I'm learning that I am capable of so much. And today I woke up and I did my yoga practice this morning. I've been showing up to the mat consistently for 4 days in a row, and I'm so proud of myself. For 15 minutes, I am showing up and I'm doing it. And that's going to be a habit that I continue to grow and build. And it feels so good to show up for myself in that way. One of the habits I was integrating is that I am a reader and I love to read. And so far, since I've been integrating this habit, I've read 4 books and I'm almost done with my 5th book. And this 5th book that I'm reading is a fiction book. And I haven't read fiction. I haven't sat down and read a story that just was created out of someone's mind, a fake reality, probably since middle school, truthfully. I mean, maybe if there was an assigned reading in high school, but y'all, I was not a reader. I just thought I was bad at it. And I had attached to the meaning that I was slow and bad at it. And so I didn't enjoy it because I was slow and bad at it. And now I'm like, fuck that. I love to read. I love the story. I love to learn through reading. And it helps me grow my mind and grow the worlds that can exist and just the possibilities that are endless and out there. It's been really fun. I felt so proud of myself because I am in the midst of applying for grad school into an eco psychology program. And I had been kind of procrastinating finishing my resume and my statement of interest. And for my to-do list this week on that list was to complete those. And so each day this week, I was going to take a bite-sized chunk and do a little bit each day so that at the end of the week, I had that accomplished. I go to sit down to my task for today was to read my statement of interest out loud and to edit it as I went. So I sit down today and I start to read my statement of interest out loud. And I'm editing as I go. And I'm like, fuck, this is good. Like, damn, this is good. And I go back and I read it through again and I do some more edits and I read it a third time. And I'm like, this is done. It's in the word count. I formatted it so that it like reads as a statement of interest. This is done. Fuck yeah. Okay. I feel really good about this. So I got to cross that off my weekly to-do list. And it was the bite-sized chunk that I had sectioned out for me to do was easier than I thought it was going to be. And it helped me build this confidence and momentum that I just wanted to do it. And it felt good. And I'm like, yes, I feel like I'm really showcasing myself, who I am, why I'm interested, and why I should be accepted into this program. It felt really good. Then I go to my resume, and my to-do list today for my resume was to add to at least 3 new like subtopics, sub experiences that I've had the bullet points under them. And as I was doing that, I'm like, okay, this is actually easier than I thought it was going to be too. So I go through and I end up just doing it for all that was empty because this resume is every experience I've ever had. And it's not even all of them because at some point I'm like, I don't There are some things that just really are so old and do not seem relevant, but it's probably 90% of the experiences that I've had in my lifetime, all on one sheet of paper. Oh, it doesn't fit on one sheet. It's like 4, but it felt so good to complete that. And I got to submit those today. And now what I'm waiting for is my recommendation letters to come back. And I'm going to give a couple more days before I reach back out as a reminder, but it feels so good to have my pieces done and to feel that momentum and joy of completing those tasks that really I thought were going to be so hard. And I had just like assigned like this harshness to them. And they were so easy and fun. And it felt so good to go back and to read my own words and to just see how fucking cool of a human I am and to reread it in a statement of interest. It was very cool. Another amazing thing that happened today was Nick and I went and we saw a financial advisor. We've been doing a lot of talking about our finances, and we've been working on coming up with a plan on how to tackle our debt. And we are still like so new in our marriage and integrating our finances together. And with moving to Colorado, that changed our finances. And then me not working a full-time job, that changed our finances. And so it was amazing to go and sit down with a financial advisor. And we get to 5 minutes before the meeting is scheduled to end. And he starts to ask about the hours that I work, because I work 10 hours a week right now. I work a lot more than 10 hours a week, but the other work that I do is for myself. And I work 10 hours a week that I get paid for every week. And he started to kind of ask me why. Like, I'm young, I'm qualified, I have an education. Like, why am I not doing other work? And so I kind of asked him, do you want the full picture and story? And he's like, if I'm going to be your financial advisor, I kind of need like the full story. And so I told him, I said, I am running to be president in 2032. And as we went into this conversation, he stopped me and he said, are you running to be president or do you plan to be president? And it was such an amazing shift that I got to make in that moment of how important the words that we say are. He's like, a lot of people these days will run to be president, but it's for publicity. They don't actually have any intention of being in office. And I'm like, no, I intend to win the election of 2032. And so now I have this shift in my brain of I am running with the intention of winning the presidential election of 2032. And the shift that feels, it was amazing to meet with this human, this person who is connected in this city that we live in and who wants to help connect me and is inviting me to meetings and to organizations that he's involved in and runs and is the president of, and wants to introduce me to influential people in the community and to get to know me better and to understand where I'm coming from and pick my mind and ask me challenging questions. And some of those challenging questions I did not have the answer for, but we ended up talking for another 45 minutes and 40 minutes over the allotted time that we had scheduled. And I'm so grateful for his time and I'm grateful for his curiosity. And he looked at us and he said, never have I ever had somebody come into my office and say that. And so I do have a lot of curiosity, and naturally so. And I told him, I said, you have to take your common sense and you have to throw it out the window, because everything about this, everything that I will say, everything that I am does not wrap into the common sense that you might know and love. And to get behind this movement, to get behind who I am, like, it is not tied to common sense because it doesn't exist yet, because I am going to be creating it. We are going to be creating it. The collective, the movement, all of us. My vibration is fucking high right now. I just feel so grateful. I'm rooted in gratitude tonight. I am rooted in love. I am rooted in just my authenticity and who I am and who I get to be and the endless possibilities that are available to me. I am incredibly grateful, incredibly grateful, incredibly grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I have been so aligned with myself for the last week. And it's not a cycle, it is sticking. I'm breaking this cycle. It doesn't have to be a cycle where I'm in alignment and then I get out of alignment and then I'm in alignment and I'm in alignment. It's not a cycle. I get to live my life in alignment. I get to live my life in alignment every day. I get to set intentions for how I want my days to go and for things to happen and how I want to show up in this life. I get to do that and be that in every single day. And I get to create new beautiful habits and live through them and love through them and be able to make productive strides and create success for myself in a beautiful way. And today was such a proof and creating trust with myself in that I can do it. And I can create things on a list and I can go back to them and I can cross them off, even if at first I didn't want to do them. And then once I get to it, I'm like, okay, I can do this. Now, I will say I am human and I did avoid a couple of things on my to-do list today. And I just got to keep training my brain to like do it. I'll probably have something better to say on that in a couple of weeks, but there are some things on my list that just feel intimidating and I need to shift and change that perspective a little bit because they're really not. They're really quite easy and simple tasks. I just actually have to do it and allow myself to fumble through if I do. And if I get to it, like I get to my statement of interest and it's so easy and fun, like that's what I want. And that's the intention I'm going to set going into those things, that they do get to be easy and fun, that I get to do them. It's something that I get to do because I love to do what I do. I love doing what I do. I love doing what I do. Thanksgiving just passed and we got to have 2 Thanksgivings this year. Last year we had 0 Thanksgivings. We went on a road trip to the 3 national parks at the bottom of the state of Colorado. And that was really awesome. I got super sick, but it was still an awesome experience. And I wouldn't recommend sleeping in your car without a beanie at 7 degrees. Wouldn't recommend that. But it was still an amazing experience. This year, I'm so grateful for having friends and family who welcome us into their home for their Thanksgivings and that we get to have those moments of just fellowship and fun and community and awesome food. Both of the Thanksgivings we went to were so different and so beautiful and magical in their own way. And I am abundantly grateful for that. I'm grateful for the people that we've met here and the relationships that I've been able to cultivate through the people that we've met, but also the people that I've known for my whole life that I've gotten to cultivate deeper and more intentional relationships with. It is beautiful. It is so beautiful. And I'm grateful for where we've ended up and how we've gotten here. And as I sit in this beautiful house that we own and it just I'm so in love with the space that I've created and the space that is mine and the space that I have manifested and worked incredibly intentionally to create into my life, and that it gets to be here now. And I get to live in this space and get to continue cultivating more and more abundance into my life. And it's so beautiful. It is so beautiful. I don't know what's next. I don't know how it's coming, when it's coming, or in what way it's going to manifest, but I know what's next is going to be fucking amazing and more serendipitous and aligned than I could possibly ever imagine in my human monkey brain. And I am so ready. I'm so ready. I'm so ready. It's so beautiful. So, something that I'm feeling called in my heart right now to share is part of this journey for me has been leaning into my spirituality and learning about my spirituality and learning about how it is in tune with me and everything that is a spiritual practice. And something that I learned a few months back when I was getting my astrology chart read was that there is a concept called light language. And light language is the language of the soul, and it is how your soul communicates. And every single one of us can communicate our own light language. We just have to be in tune with ourselves and trust whatever sounds and noises are coming out. And some people can also channel other people's light languages, things, divine beings, divine love, plants, animals. I mean, really, from what I understand, it can be mainly anything. So I went through this process with an amazing person I found on Instagram who also did my astrology chart. Ugh. I went through a light language activation last week, almost a week ago tomorrow. And I had already been speaking light language from what I had seen come from her, and I had tried to activate it in myself and become in trust with myself in that way. But going through the activation process with her and the trust and safety that she helped create and cultivate, and the protection around my energy and what I am channeling of only those of divine love or higher, it has made a huge difference. And over the last week, I have made sure to ground myself each and every morning and protect my energy and protect myself. And I have had some really incredible experiences so far. And I know it's just going to continue getting deeper and deeper as I continue cultivating that trust, which is so beautiful. And I'm fucking thrilled about it. But last night I was channeling light language and it was amazing. It was wild because I had sat down and I was going to do a meditation, and then it just like came into me and started flowing through me. And I channeled about 6 different beings in the one channel. And I felt it move from being to being. And I felt the energy shift and the feeling in my body shift. And the way the language sounded shifted, the way that it communicated, the sounds, the feelings, the note of the voice changed. But it just went. It was continuous. And I say all of this because the more that I dive into my own spiritual practices, the more that I become in touch with myself, in touch with my divine self, and trust my divine self, and trust all that I am doing, and trust the love and the light that is inside of me, spirituality is fucking amazing. And it's just a part of being human. It's tied into being human. And it has been healing and is shifting me in ways and opening me up in ways that I didn't even know was possible. And I am inviting that in of divine love or higher because I know that those shifts are setting me up for something even greater. And I am integrating all of this now. Y'all, I have been doing so much shadow work, and I have been processing some of the biggest big T traumas in my life to come to this moment and to see how now I get to sit and I get to integrate all of these new beautiful beliefs and practices that heal me from the inside out and help change me on a cellular level and become more in touch with my divinity and who I am and ground me and become fully me. It's the greatest gift of all time. It is the greatest gift of all time. I'm sure I've talked about this in this space, but if I haven't, and this is the first time I'm introducing it, the concept that unconditional love is unlimited. We can always make more of it. And when we see ourselves through the eyes of unconditional love, I've learned that from Brandon Foster, and I've integrated it into my life in so many new and beautiful ways. But seeing myself and seeing others through the eyes of unconditional love has brought me in tune with who I am. And as I continue to shed these layers, what is left is just love. That is all that's there. It's just love. It's abundant love. And it's growing ever more, and it overflows and it overflows. And every single person I get to interact with, it is love. It's unconditional love. We were at Costco tonight, and we went through the self-checkout, and we had our Costco certificate they give you a percentage back on a coupon you can use at the end of the year of your membership. And we were trying to use that. And the guy was telling us that, oh, you can't use that at self-checkout. You can either use it next time or I can pull you over here. And we were like, yeah, like we wanted to use it last time and we forgot. So we definitely want to use it this time. And he like accidentally wrung it out instead of like taking the tab over with him. So we had to re-ring everything up, which was fine. It was not that big of a deal. And it wasn't a big deal, so we didn't make it a big deal. And he's like, a lot of people would have been very annoyed. Thank you for your patience. And it just is so fucking wild to me, just how much, and this was me too. And now that I look back on it, I'm like, wow, the misery that I created in my own life by little things, just little inconveniences or moments that I allowed myself to just like ruminate on and allow myself to just be so upset with or send hate. And the amount of hate that person probably gets just by making one mistake, and how he's just human and he made a human error, and it's not the end of the world. And maybe it's going to take 3 more minutes of our day, but to be able to see him through the eyes of unconditional love and see the moment and just allow it to be simple. Love is so potent. And what we don't see when we offer love to other people is the ripple that love has, right? If you drop a pebble into a still body of water, you can watch that ripple from that one pebble ripple out over and over and over and over again. Y'all, you show love to one person, that person maybe now has it in their heart to show love to somebody else. Love is contagious. Love is infectious. All of us want to be loved. All of us want to feel love, experience love. I don't wake up in the morning and say, I really hope someone yells at me today. No, nobody wants that. But we all okay, let me change my words. A lot of humans in our society, that's their default. And until someone teaches us how to switch that default on and off and create a new default, we don't realize that we're on autopilot. I was on autopilot in my life. And 2 years ago, someone switched my default off and I had to create a new default. And ever since then, I've been trying to find my new default. And it's not that it was lost. It was right there in front of me. And I knew it was there. But rewiring your brain takes time. Just like building habits, just like anything, right? Like the example that was used for me today was like, you go to the doctor and the doctor wants to help you on your nutritious journey or your health journey, but the doctor can only do so much. You have to do the other part. And if we're not willing to do the other part for ourselves, then nothing is going to change. We have to be willing to show up for ourselves, to show up for ourselves with love, to love ourselves through the moments where it feels impossible. We are the only person that is with us all the time. We are the only person that has to wake up and be inside of our head. So why not make it a fucking pleasant place to be? And every single day I have to consciously remind myself of that. And now it's become my automatic. It's my default. But before it was not my default. I had to remind myself of that. I had to go through the steps of affirming new thoughts, and integrating new habits to be who and where I am today. And if you start today, if you look back a month from now, you'll be irrecognizable. Let me tell you. And even think 6 months from now. 6 months is a drop in the ocean in your lifetime. And you can create new habits and become the person who you want to be. You're allowed to be that person. You are worthy of being the person that you want to be. You can and you will. I love you so much. I believe in you. I trust you. I know that you can do this. I know that you are capable. I know that the gift that is deep inside of you wants to come out and be showcased and given to the world. I know it. I feel it. I want that for you. I want that for the world. A cool thing has started to shift in my life where I am introducing myself as ABSD. I identify as ABSD. I have for a while now, and I am showing up as ABSD and introducing myself in places like that. I just got done with a 6-week women's guidance facilitator program, which I'm now certified in. Woo-hoo! And that feels amazing. And I introduced myself as ABSD in that space. For a long time, it felt like I needed to explain why I'm calling myself ABSD. But when I meet a stranger, if they ask, I'm happy to give an explanation, but that's just what I want to be called. And I'm realizing that a lot of things ask for first name and last name. And I, of course, I'm going to put Alyssa Deloach. But I'm always going to put in the notes or say, my preferred name is ABSD. And it was amazing because at one of the Thanksgivings that I went to, there were new friends that I hadn't met. And I got to tell the family, hey, when these people come, I would love to be called ABSD. It's something that I'm integrating into my life, and that's my preferred name now. And that felt amazing. Tonight, working with the financial advisor, sitting there, and on the form, it just had first and last name. And I got to say, first of all, I'd like to be called ABSD. That's my preferred name. And it feels amazing. And that duality that I was feeling, that of living as Alyssa and living as ABSD and living essentially two separate lives, I'm removing that duality by allowing myself to show up authentically as me. And there are still people that I am working on integrating ABSD to, because there are some relationships that I have in my life that are so pinhole specific. And I'm learning how to adjust to adjust is not the right word. I'm learning how to show up as me in those relationships. And it's truly as simple as just asking and sharing. And up until this point, I haven't felt ready for that. And I do feel more ready than I've ever felt. And showing up in two spaces where I've course corrected and I said, hey, I would prefer to be called ABSD, feels amazing. It feels amazing. Will I always answer to Alyssa? Yeah, it's my first name. But ABSD is me, and Alyssa is me too. She's a huge part of me. She's who I am, but ABSD is me. And I get to embody all of that. And it feels amazing. I am so grateful for you. I'm grateful for sharing this space with you. I'm grateful to be able to riff and rant and just to share my stride and these amazing progressions that I am having forward momentum. Fuck yeah. And how amazing it feels in my mind, body, and spirit, and how I get to come and share in this space all of me and all of the journey. And it's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up and allowing me to be here and show up as my authentic self. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for this life. And I love you endlessly. Go out, love loudly, be awesome, and show up as your authentic self. The world needs you to be you. I love you for you. I want you to love you for you too. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. I love you. Bye.